Eli here with Sketchbook Creative. Today I really wanted to talk about sketching before we dive back into some of the other medias that you might start off with drawing. So really in particular, I just have a bunch of little sketches of the human form, that sort of thing. Just trying to figure out mobility, dynamic forms, those sort of things. And really the whole thing with sketching, I'll kind of flip through some of my pages here. Really the whole thing with sketching is you're just trying to develop your ideas. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be completely understood. They can be really just simple ideas. They're just explorations. Really one of the big things about creation or art making, any of these sort of endeavors, one of the biggest things that I think I want to express or tell you about is basically that you're going to make mistakes. Your work is going to suck, and sketchbooks are an incredible way to develop those ideas. You're going to develop things that don't necessarily make sense, that aren't exactly quality works, and so sketching is just a really good way to lay that out. So one of the things that I particularly like about sketching, and just kind of getting that out, is that sketching can be, simply put, they can be just scribbles. They don't have to be, again, like I said, necessarily ideas or things that are concrete or well developed. It's just one way to get the idea out on paper. Even though it might be something that's kind of a misnomer or misconception, is that as artists we have an idea and we quickly just pump it out and make these magical works, when in reality it takes a lot of development and a lot of thought process behind it. And so here I'm kind of working on some comic book pages or panels or those sort of things. I kind of like where some of these are going, and so I would go through and just continue to develop these. Facing the camera there. So again, I'm not fully figuring everything out right in the first stage. It's really just a scribble, an idea, a concept of putting that down, and then taking that through to the next steps. I personally like pen really as an alternative versus some of the other medias. But again, with the sketchbook, it's really just an exploration. And so it might be something where you use like markers, or you use a feather, a leaf. I mean, it's just sketching it doesn't have to be something that's, manufactured as a pen or a pencil or those sort of things. It can be any particular thing. Again, a sketchbook is an exploratory area, an area where you take that environment and flush out these ideas. So again, you're not worried about structure. You're not worried about. Biggest thing that maybe right now that I'm worried about is just composition, how things are laid out, how information is organized. Is there a cohesion between the two panels? Am I forcing the eye to kind of wander around? How am I forcing the eye to wander around? And thinking about it in really simple shapes and forms, and not worried about the details of, how his muscles are looking, what he's wearing, and all those sort of things. Those will come later in terms of development of this particular thing. basically with sketching, I really just want to reiterate the importance of getting the information down, getting the idea down. It doesn't have to be well polished. Generally what I do as I'm at the start of every day, before I even start drawing some of the more important or well developed ideas out, what I'll do is I'll just start sketching about 15 to 20 minutes of just ideas like this, and not worried about intentions, not worried about the outcome, just getting that information out. And one of the things that helps me do personally is that when I do go to actually developing something that I need to take a little bit more time with, really rehearse and organize those thoughts out, is that sketching allows me to get out some of those jitters, some of those preconceived ideas of failure. With art making or creation, you're going to fail. Get that out of the way. That's okay. Sketching allows you to do that, and then as you move off to other things, you're not worried about the outcome. You're just worried about developing that idea further in terms of how you're problem solving or organizing your thoughts. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. As always, subscribe, like, and then we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.